no matter what you want. You want a multi-million person community. You want multi-billions of dollars. You want a better marriage. You want to be healthy. I will guarantee you it will take 1,000 steps to get there.
Welcome to Digital Hospitality. I'm your host, Shawn Walchef. This is Inside the Coaching Call with my mentor, David Meltzer. Today we are talking about building community. I just received a text from David from the community app about an event that he is doing in New York City with Gayle King. I feel connected to the community. I feel a part of the community. I get FOMO when I can't join him at these amazing events, but this episode, I would love for you to help our audience, our listeners, our viewers learn more about your path to building community in real life, but also the show is Digital Hospitality, the way that you've used and leveraged tools like Instagram, group chats to get people excited to know where you are and to show up and support.
Building a community starts within, and analyzing, taking inventory of who you are, not what you want people to think you are. And understanding who you are will allow you to know how best you'll build a community, because you're going to be a community that resonates with you, that people want to learn from and teach you and help you and know people that can help you. And it takes time. It takes time to find out who you are, to sift through the I am versus this is what I want people to think I am. It takes time to develop who you are in your skills, your knowledge, and your desire. And so there's a lot of work that needs to be done in order to know who you are. Now, that's for a community that is a community that will last for a lifetime. If you want to build a community around an authentic, which is different than essence, an authentic, consistent branding. So, for example, Howard Stern is an authentic guy.
Yes.
But it's not his essence that he's consistently authentic with. His brand, he's consistently authentic with. And that's going to attract people who like and resonate and don't like his authentic brand, but it's not his essence. And so first, taking inventory of ourselves, deciding if we want to capture our essence, or do we want to capture an authentic brand of ourselves, which could be what I want people to think I am, not just I am. But for me to build my community, I went with the essence. I didn't want to be what I want people to think I am. That would sell. And so I then captured that, and I created a strategy in person. Like you mentioned, we're doing a meetup in Times Square with, as chairman of the Napoleon Hill Institute, my Napoleon Hill Institute meetup. We're going to be up on the big billboards in Times Square, also promoting Office Hours Season 8 as well.
Amazing.
But we then will have a VIP dinner. Gayle King said she's going to try to stop by, as you said, but Claude Silver, Peter Tushman, Peter Goldstein, the list goes on and on. Cleona O'Hara, variety of people are going to be there that are at my frequency. Same with email, same with, as you mentioned, the text, the phone, yep, calling and texting, and of course, social media, all of the platforms, all of them. We capture all that we do at our essence. We pick out what represents your essence the best, Mr. Meltzer, and then we modify it to attract and to elevate awareness according to the platform. YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, whatever it may be. And then we build a community because it takes care of the next two, that creates not only a community of people that are helping each other and know people that will help each other, not only a community of people that will sell for each other and buy from each other, but it will also create the legacy because it amplifies. The community is what amplifies your essence or your authenticity, and it perpetuates it. So not only do you build a community over time with the people that are resonating with you, either your authentic self or your essence self, but more importantly, they will buy from you and sell for you for life, not just for one season, one product, one service, and one solution.
So a very wise man once told me a story that we learn through lessons and stories. He told me a story about meetups that he did early on in his career where very few people came. And I think, when I think of the stage theory and the work that you and I have been doing for helping my restaurant become a media company and me building my community of digital hospitality leaders from all over the globe, I think about the people that I'm speaking to. They want to be inspired to also grow community. A lot of people get discouraged when no one shows up or they send that message and they show up in real life and they go, Dave, why do you keep doing that when 3 people showed up at your event? Can you share a little bit about, give us a story, share a story.
Yeah. So look, I had a calling. I didn't believe in callings. I barely believed in God, that I was here for a mission, no longer commissions. I was told the mission would bring the commission, and my mission was to empower people with my skills, my knowledge, and my desire, which were pertaining to making a lot of money, helping a lot of people, and having a lot of fun. Because I never met anyone who made a lot of money, helped a lot of people, and had a lot of fun every day that wasn't happy. And so I set off on this mission, and I was thinking about it in my hotel room in Baltimore. And I said to myself, you know what? I got nothing to do tomorrow from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. I'm done with my meditation, my workout, my calls. Nobody's ready for me in California. I've already talked to everybody, the early calls in New York. I'm at the Home to Suites in Baltimore. I'm just going to put out there, hey, anybody need help? Come and meet me in the lobby. I'll buy you breakfast, which was free, by the way. So I mitigated my risk there, and show up. And I will tell you, as I went down the elevator at 6:50, my heart was sunk because I'm thinking, what if nobody shows? God, what if my calling is my calling, but nobody's here when I knock? And 2 people showed up, and that's when I realized how powerful one person is.
Yeah.
That if I helped one person a day, 365 days, I would eventually get to 1,000 people that I could empower to empower 1,000 people to empower 1,000 people to change the world, to change the collective consciousness. Over 1 billion people would be changed simply if only one person showed up. And yesterday, I decided at the spur of the moment, the night before, when I came back from an amazing concert with Andy Grammer, I said, you know what? I got a window of time before I go to the airport. I had to be at the airport at 6:30. I'll do a 4:00 meetup in Franklin at the hotel lobby. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? Right? I got an extra hour, 1 person, 2 person. So when I got there early, there was 2 people. And then when I started at 4:00, there was 5 people. When I finished, there was 100 people.
Amazing.
Now, here's what's super funny is, even though I'm a student in my calendar, Nick reminded me that I was going to, during my drive, I was going to do the meetup from 4 to 5 because I dedicate in every city at least an hour for meetups. But I was going to do my IG live in the car under the guise of efficiency, effectiveness, and statistical success. So there was so many people, I decided not to give myself too much time to go to the airport. And, because I had TSA, it was a Wednesday night in Nashville, and I'm going to New York, and there was flights after in case I missed, but I went in the corner with 100 people in the lobby of the Nashville hotel and watched while I did my IG live, the essence of what I wanted to create. You know what it was? It was people who wanted to help one another or know people that could help one another. And I backed out after answering questions, and it became a holding court session.
Amazing.
And then I barely could get out of there after I finished my IG live 5 minutes early so I could have at least 15 minutes to make my plane, which I did.
For the people that hear that story, give us an idea of the time horizon.
Yeah, so I have a new approach. You haven't heard this, so this is the first time I put this out there, but
Great.
it's the easiest and best way to explain it. No matter what you want, you want a multi-million person community, you want multi-billions of dollars, you want a better marriage, you want to be healthy, whatever it is, you think about what you want, I will guarantee you it will take 1,000 steps to get there. I guarantee you it will take 1,000 steps to get there or better. Now, none of the steps are equal. Sometimes you got to take 2 steps backwards and 3 steps forward. Some are icy, some are broken, some are dirty, some are sharp, some are soft, some are wet. It doesn't matter. There's all kinds of steps. And in between each step is problems. They're called divine detours that cause you to fall and slip and make mistakes and all these things. But nonetheless, no matter what happens between step number 1 and step number 1,000, it's going to take 1,000 steps. Now, here's the quagmire. You don't know how long it's going to take ever, right? If I want to go get lunch, there's 1,000 steps for me to go get lunch, but it may only take 2 minutes. It may only take 5 minutes, but they may not have what I want. So now it's going to take 10 minutes because I got to go next door to In-N-Out Burger instead of McDonald's. Who knows what happens? But every time you do something that you want, there's 1,000 steps, but we don't know how much time it's going to take.
Yeah.
We know we only have 24 hours each day to do it. So under the guise of these steps, in the context of what you're asking, building a community, I knew it would take 1,000 steps.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how long it was going to take to get me to where I wanted to be or better. But here's what I know. Every step has so many problems, and I never know when I've reached another step because during the journey, there's no evidence that I'm going towards the 1,000 steps. And sometimes the evidence is contrary to it, that I'm going towards what I want or better. Here's what you have to know. It's going to take you 90% of the time, 90% of the emotion, 90% of the money, the effort, the desire, 90% of everything you got, MFers out there, 90% of everything you got to get to just 250 steps.
Yeah.
And that's why almost everybody quits. Almost everybody quits. And almost everybody quits because it's not the mistakes, the slips, the fallbacks, all those things that cause you to not get to the 1,000 steps. It's the lack of commitment, the lack of faith, the lack of when there's no evidence and the evidence is contrary to where you want to be. That's what stops you. And unfortunately, Shawn, 99% of the people don't make it to 250 steps.
Yep.
Because they lack commitment. Here's the sad thing. The 1% that does, it's only less than 5% to get to 500 steps. You're going to get 250 of the next steps in less than 5% of the time, effort, emotion. And yet 99% of that 1% quit. Now, here's the saddest part, brother. Of the 1% of the 1%, 99% of those quit, even though it's going to take them less than 5% of everything they got to get them to 1,000 steps. So if you want 1,000 people in your community, 1,000,000 people in your community, 1,000,000,000 people in your community, I promise you there's 1,000 steps.
That is David.
1,000 steps to get you there. And it's going to take you 90% of everything you got to get to 250 steps.
That analogy couldn't be more spot on, especially when you put it in the context of podcasting. The numbers correlate exactly. It's real life. It's the things. It's restaurants. You name the business. You name the health, the marriage, as you mentioned. All of those things. It couldn't have been more spot on. How can people join David Meltzer's community?
Yeah, well, we'd love to see you. If you're watching live right now, come meet us in New York, 1530 Broadway, Times Square, in front of the big screen, right there in the I Love New York store. Come and see us, or VIP dinner tonight in New York. We also have, of course, so many great things going on. SoFi Stadium, the Masters, Spain, I'll be there. So reach out to me, get my book for free. I'll sign it, send it to you, pay for shipping in the book. David@dmeltzer.com. Make sure you join our private networking group. Come and be invited to all of the 200 things we do a year around the world. Come and have one-on-one access to me for advice and for introductions. If you want my advice and introductions, if you want to be a part of thousands of people like Shawn that are helping each other, know people that help each other get on stages, podcasts, books, business, funding, whatever the issues are, doesn't matter. Join our private networking group, david@dmeltzer.com.
And I couldn't endorse David more. It has been absolute pleasure. We have just gotten started and we've already been working together for 4 years. I cannot wait to see what the next 4 years, 40 years looks like. David, I appreciate you as always. To our community, stay curious, get involved, and don't be afraid to ask for help. We'll catch you guys next episode.